Hey guys, great to see you. Joe here. Welcome to another lesson and thank you very much indeed for joining me for this one. So what I wanted to do today was just put together a simple little lesson for the beginners out there. And the idea is that you can start to play something a little bit melodic. So it could be that you haven't tried to play anything in a solo sense, as it were. And so this little exercise is all about being able to transition between a few different shapes up and down the neck. And so it's all about being able to play the notes with clarity and also in time. Okay? Now, I've included a little backing track. Well, it's just essentially me playing the rhythm guitar. So you can practice these little figures over the top of it. Okay? Now, it's very, very simple, and I'm hoping that you'll have a go at this because, it may be one of those things that gets you started along this road of playing a little bit of lead guitar. So what we have essentially are just three chords. We just have a C chord, an F chord, and a G chord. So that's all that's happening with the backing. That's just going to be going round and round to give you the opportunity to try and play these very simple figures over the top of it. Now the first figure that we're going to play is between the 3rd and the 5th frets. Now we're on the 2nd string to start with on this 3rd fret, and we're sliding up to the 5th, like so. Okay, now you can use your ring finger or your middle finger, wherever you're most comfortable with, and you're going to slide from 3 to 5. And then you're going to go down onto the 1st string and play 3, 5, 3. Like so. So if you put that together, what you're going to have is like that. So very simple, as you can hear. But what tends to happen when we were starting out trying to play these little melodic lines is that it's a little bit of a panic getting to the neck shape as the chords arrive. So that might be something that you're going to need to practice, and that's the whole kind of object of the lesson in a sense. Now this little shape that I've just shown you, okay, is not going to change. All that's going to change is the position where we play it. So as I say, our first position, which is played over the C chord, is just between the 3rd and 5th fret. So one more time on the 2nd string, 3 to 5, onto the 1st string, 3, 5, 3. Now our second position is going to be between 8 and 10, and we're just going to play the same figure. So we're going to take that 2nd string on the 8th fret, slide up to the 10th, and then play 8, 10, 8 on the 1st string. Okay, so we're going to go. And then we come back down to position 1. Now our final position, which is played over the G chord, we go from 10 to 12. Same figure, so 2nd string, slide from 10 to 12. Then onto the 1st string, 10, 12, 10. Like so. Then to the F shape, 8 to 10, 2nd string. Onto the 1st string, 8, 10, 8. And then we can come back to position 1. Now, although it's very simple, what we're looking to do here is get our timing spot on, because it's quite easy to play this wrong, however simple it is, well, rather than wrong, out of time, I should say. So what we're looking for really here is to be bang on the time, and once you do that, you're going to hear that it sounds really nice. Now there are lots of variations that you can play along these lines, and that's something I'd really like you to explore, because rather than me telling you everything and you just kind of copying what I do, I'd like for there to be a little bit of exploration on your part. So you know that these are safe notes for the C and the F and the G, but you can play them with a slightly different timing and slightly different number of notes if you like. So let's say, for example, this is our lick. We could equally play or okay, so this little chromatic walk-up is something worth knowing about as well. So you know what we're talking about when we're talking about the second string, and in position 1, which is the C position, we're playing 3-5, like so. Well, we're actually sliding, aren't we? We're going like this. Well, what we can do is we can walk up. We can go 3, 4, 5. And then play that. So we can play or. So you see, this is what I'm trying to get across in a sense. There are lots of little alternative licks that you can kind of come up with yourself, and it's a nice feeling once you do that, because you feel like you're making progress by yourself in a sense. And it's always a great feeling when you come up with a little lick of your own, however simple that might be. It's very rewarding. Okay, so I'd like you to bear in mind this chromatic in the C position, 3, 4, 5. Same up here, we can play it. And in the G. And then back to the normal lick which I showed you to start with. So what's a good idea when you're doing these type of things is to try and mix things up. So maybe rather than playing the same lick time after time, play one and then play another which is slightly different. So you could go, that's the normal lick. And second time you might go, yeah. So it's about exploring and things like that. Now I wanted to keep this lesson short, so because there's not a great deal to tell you about this, as I say, other than what I've already mentioned. So I'm hoping what you will do is go away and practice the licks that I've shown you, but also try and see if you can come up with any variations of your own. Now, one other thing I'd like to finish off with, just before we finish, is that, as I say, this is the C section of the lick. And we'll play that twice. Now, when we come up to the F position, what we can play is, so rather than playing 8 and 10, you can also add that 11 in when you play the F position and bend it a little bit, so you could play. So you can add that 11 really is essentially what I'm saying when you come to the F, and then back to the standard for the G part. And that's where the 11 comes in. You hear that sound? And all I'm doing is I'm going 10 on the second string, 8 on the first, back to that 10 on the second, and then that 11 with a nice bend. Like so, okay? And then to play over the turnaround, so in other words, once we've played this G, and then the F, and then we play the C, and then there's a turnaround over the G7, you can play. Okay, so essentially, all I'm doing there is I'm barring the bottom 2 strings on the 3rd fret and I'm hammering on just to the 2nd string of the 5th fret going. Okay, so that's all I'm doing there, hammering on that 2nd string, then playing just those 2 strings, then onto that 3rd string, 4th fret, sliding back to the 2nd fret and then playing it open. So you've got. And if you want to add a couple more notes, you can play. And that's just 3, 3 open notes on the 3rd string, then 3rd string 2nd fret, and then the 2nd string 1st fret. So you'd have and then you'd be back into your. So hopefully this will help you in some way, and I hope you can explore this idea, and hopefully you'll find it a little bit helpful in some way. And so have fun with it. Remember, it's all about enjoying the journey, and I've put the chords, in other words, me just playing the rhythm guitar, down below this post, so you can download that and play that MP3 and then practice your licks over the top of it, yeah? So good luck with that, folks, and I'll see you soon with another lesson. In the meantime, take care.